Do you challenge me, sir? That looks like Fallout 3 right now.
Hall.
What are you laughing at?
Do you know what day it is today?
Thursday?
April 30th?
That's right. George Washington took office as the first president of the United States of America 200 years ago today. And it happened right here. We were going to declare another independence. The dawn of a new nation here. The end of the Patriots'
Best
secret
graphical
war.
part of the game so
Liberation
far.
of this country. This was where it was supposed to begin. This is where freedom could have been born.
All you want is power at any cost.
Jack, it's not power I want. What I wanted to take back from the Patriots are things like freedom, civil rights, opportunities.
And pizza.
The founding principles of this country. Everything that's about to be wiped out by their digital censorship. Jack,
No, you.
we're all born with an
Google
expiration
kind of has that
date.
covered.
No one
I have a
lasts forever.
censorship thing covered.
Life is nothing but a grace period for turning the best of our genetic material into the next generation. The data of life is
Look at my
transferred
watch.
from parent
Nope,
to
don't have
child.
time yet. Okay.
That's how it works. But we have no heirs, no legacy. We brothers are called les enfants terribles. Cloned from our father with the ability to reproduce conveniently engineered out. What is our legacy if we
You
cannot
say
pass
something
the
about
torch?
impregnating machines.
Proof of our existence, a mark of some sort. When the torch is passed on from parent to child, it extends beyond DNA. Information is imparted as well. All I want is to be remembered by other people, by history. The Patriots are trying to protect their power, their own interests, by controlling the digital flow of information. I want my memory, my existence to remain. Unlike an intron of history, I will be remembered as an exon. That will be my legacy, my mark in history.
Exxon. Is that like the name of a
But the
some gas
Patriots will
station
deny us
nowadays?
even that. I will triumph over the Patriots and liberate us all, and we will become the Sons of Liberty!
Right, are you receiving? We're still here.
How's that possible? The AI was destroyed.
Only GW.
Who are you?
To begin with, we're not
Oh
what you
my
call
God.
human. Over the past 200 years, a kind of consciousness formed layer by layer in the crucible of the White House. It's not unlike the way life started in the oceans 4 billion years ago. The White House was our primordial soup, a base of evolution. We are formless. We are the very discipline and morality that Americans invoke so often. How can anyone hope to eliminate us? As long as this nation exists, so will we.
Cut the crap! If you're immortal, why would you take away individual freedoms and censor the net?
Jack, don't be silly.
Don't you know that our plans have your interests, not ours, in mind?
What?
Jack, listen carefully, like a good boy.
The mapping of the human genome was completed early this century. As a result, the evolutionary log of the human race lay open to us.
We started with genetic engineering, and in the end, we succeeded in digitizing life itself.
But there are things not covered by genetic information.
What do you mean?
Human memories, ideas, culture, history.
Genes don't contain any record of human history.
Is it something that should not be passed on? Should that information be left at the mercy of nature?
We've always kept records of our lives, through words, pictures, symbols, from tablets to books.
But not all the information was inherited by later generations. A small percentage of the whole was selected and processed, then passed on. Not unlike genes, really.
This could be
That's
like
what
3 videos
history
in a
is,
row
Jack.
without any
But in the
gameplay.
current digitized world, trivial information is accumulating every second, preserved in all its triteness, never fading, always accessible.
Rumors about petty issues, misinterpretations, slander.
All this data, preserved in an unfiltered state, growing at an alarming rate.
It will only slow down social progress, reduce the rate of evolution.
Right? You seem to think that our plan is one of censorship.
Are you telling me it's not?
You're being silly. What we propose to do is not to control content, but to create context.
Create context.
Why does it sound like it's
Society
related to the
filled with
S?
human flaws and
198
selectively rewards
bill, like back in,
development
like,
of convenient half-truths. Just
started back in, like,
strange
2011,
juxtapositions of morality
2012?
around you.
Billions spent on new weapons in order to humanely
It was
murder other
2012.
humans.
Yeah, I think.
Rights of criminals are
Maybe it was
given more
2011.
respect than the privacy of their victims.
Although there are people suffering in
was
poverty,
either late
huge
2011 or
donations are
early
made to protect
2012.
endangered species. Everyone grows up being told the same thing.
Be nice to other people.
But beat out the competition.
You're special. Believe in yourself and you will succeed.
But it's obvious from the start that only a few can succeed.
You exercise your right to freedom, and this is the result. All rhetoric to avoid conflict and protect each other from hurt. The untested truth.
So you do realize that Solidus is
continue to churn and
it's
accumulate
right
in the
here next to
sandbox
me.
of
Somehow
political
it's not
correctness
killed me
and
yet.
value
While I'm
systems.
distracted with this
Everyone
call.
withdraws into their own
with-
small gated community, afraid of a larger
There's the
horde.
2 robots
They
that's
stay
clearly not
inside their
human
little
right now.
ponds, leaking whatever truth suits them into the growing cesspool of society at large.
The different cardinal truths neither clash nor match. No one is invalidated. Nobody is right.
Not even natural selection can take place here. The world is being engulfed in truth.
And this is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper.
We're trying to stop that from happening.
It's our responsibility as rulers. Just as in genetics, unnecessary information and memory must be filtered out.
Right, you might want to just hang
stimulate
up on
the
them.
evolution of the
Just,
species.
and just
And
focus
you
on
think you're
Solidus.
qualified to decide what's necessary and not?
Absolutely. Who else could wade through the sea of garbage you people produce, retrieve valuable truths, and even interpret their meaning for later generations?
That's what it means to create context.
I'll decide for myself what to believe and what to pass on.
But is that even your own idea?
Or something Snake told you.
That's the proof of your incompetence right there. You lack the qualifications to exercise free will.
That's not true. I have the right.
Does something like a self exist inside of you?
That which you call self serves as nothing more than a mask to cover your own being.
In this era of ready-made truths, self is just something used to preserve those positive emotions
You
that
got
we
to kind of have a
occasionally
boss
feel.
fight to take care
Another
of. But
possibility is that self is a concept you conveniently borrowed under the logic that would endow you with some sense of strength.
this will be another
That's crap.
will be another video up on my
Would
channel.
you prefer that someone else tell you? All right then. Explain it to him.
Jack, you're simply the best. And you got there
Well,
all
I mean,
by
I know I'm the
yourself.
best. You don't have to tell me.
Oh,
It's still
what
not real
happened?
though.
Do you feel lost? Why not try a bit of soul searching?
Don't think you'll find anything, though.
Ironic that although self is something that you yourself fashion, every time something goes wrong, you turn around and place the blame on something else.
It's not my fault. It's not your fault.
In denial, you simply resort to looking for another, more convenient truth in order to make yourself feel better.
Leaving behind in an instant the so-called truth you once embraced.
Should someone like
Man, I've been on my phone for so long. We need to put it on charger soon.
Should someone like you even have the right to decide?
You've done nothing but abuse your freedom.
You don't deserve to be free.
We're not the ones smothering the world. You are.
The individual is supposed to be weak, but far from powerless. A single person has the potential to ruin the world.
And the age of digitized communication has given even more power to the individual. Too much power for an immature species.
Building a legacy involves figuring out what is wanted and what needs to be done for that goal. All this you used to struggle with. Now we think for you.
We are your guardians, after all.
You want to control human thought? Human behavior?
Of course. Anything can be quantified nowadays. That's what this exercise was designed to prove.
You fell in love with me just as you were meant to, after all. Isn't that right, Jack?
Ocelot was not told the whole truth, to say the least.
We rule an entire nation. Of what interest would a single soldier, no matter how able, be to us?
The S3 plan does not stand for solid snake simulation. What it does stand for is selection for societal sanity.
Very exciting.
The S3 is a system for controlling human will and consciousness. S3 is not you, a soldier trained in the image of Solid Snake. It is a method, a protocol that created a circumstance that made you what you are.
So you see, we're the S3, not you.
What you experienced was the final test of its effectiveness.
That's crazy.
You heard what President Johnson said.
The Arsenal's GW system is the key to their supremacy.
The objective of
Yeah,
this
that's normal.
exercise was to establish
Happens.
such a method.
Happens.
We used Shadow Moses as a paradigm for the exercise.
I wonder if you would have preferred a fantasy setting.
We chose that backdrop because of its extreme circumstances. It was an optimal test for S3's crisis management capacity. If the model could trigger, control, and solve this, it would be ready for any contingency. And now, we have our proof. Raiden, there are also reasons behind your selection. Solidus raised plenty of other child soldiers. Do you know why we chose you over them? It was because you were the only one who refused to acknowledge the past. All the others remember what they were and pay for it daily.
But you turn your back on everything you don't like. You do whatever you like, see only the things you like, and for yourself alone.
Yes, Rose can attest to that.
You refused to see me for what I was. I lied to you, but I wanted to be caught. You pretended to be understanding, to be a gentleman. You never made a conscious attempt to reach out to me. The only time you did was when I gave you no choice but to do so.
I was just trying not to.
What? Trying not to hurt me? Dear, the one you were trying not to hurt was yourself. Avoiding the truth under the guise of kindness is all that you did. It occurred to you to do nothing but look out for yourself. Even if you claim that it was for my sake, that feeling was nowhere to be seen. In the end, everything was for your sake. I was never part of the picture.
Exactly right. So you see, you're
That crew laugh was so creepy.
representative of
Oh
the
my
masses we
God.
need to protect. This is why we chose you. You accepted the fiction we've provided, obeyed our orders, and did everything you were told to. The exercise is a resounding success.
Didn't I tell you that GW was still incomplete? But not anymore, thanks to you.
Your persona, experiences, triumphs, and defeats are nothing but byproducts. The real objective was ensuring that we could generate and manipulate them. It's taken a lot of time and money, but it was well worth it considering the results. I think that's enough talk. It's time for the final exercise. Raiden, take some of this down.
Think again. I'm through doing what I'm
Oh, really? Aren't you forgetting something?
If you die, my child dies.
The termination of vital signals from your nanomachines means the death of Olga's child. Not to mention the death of Rose. She's wired the same way.
Rose, does she actually exist?
Of course I do, Jack. You have to believe me.
Damn!
It will be a fight to the death.
Solidus at least wants you dead.
We will collect the necessary data from this last fight. Then we'll consider the exercise closed. So, Jack the Ripper, will it be Solidus, the Patriot's creation, or you, Solidus's creation? Our beloved monsters, enjoy yourselves.
Jack, my son.